good to see you here on another episode of Hope at Home for Kids. We're excited to continue our lesson and series on fear not. And why should we never fear? Because God is with us. So even though things are a little scary, or you're sad, or you're unsure about what's going on around you, we know that God is with us and for us because he loves us and he only has great and wonderful things planned for us. So before the lesson, let's get into our weekly saying, and I think Mr. Luigi can help us out with that.
Hello, children. It's me, Luigi. It's so good to see you all. Today we're about to go over a weekly saying. And our weekly saying today is, God is with me. Okay, now let's do it together, shall we? Here we go. God is with me. Now let's do it again. Once again, shall we? God is with me. Excellent. Now let's do one more time. One more time now, shall we? God is with me. Excellent job. You did excellent good. Mamma mia.
Awesome, Luigi. I'm so glad he could take a little break from supervising the outdoor project to come and help us out with our weekly saying. And what a great job he did, right? Right. So today we're going to get into our lesson, and it comes from the Bible. It comes from 1 Kings chapter 17 and 18. And that's in the Old Testament. And this story is one of my favorites because not only does God show up, but he shows off. He shows his amazing power. So I'm so excited to share this lesson with you guys today. And we're going to talk about a guy named Elijah. Say it with me, Elijah. And he had a job, and he wasn't a baker or a farmer or a policeman or a dog walker. He was a prophet. Does anybody know what a prophet is? I'll give you 5 seconds to think of what a prophet does, all right? Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time's up. What do you guys think a prophet does? Those are some good answers. But what a prophet does is he speaks directly with God, and he listens for God to tell us what to do, if we should be warned about anything that's coming our way, and how much he loves us, and then also to let us know the promises and the plans that he has for our lives, and how to follow those plans and promises. Awesome, right? Great job. So Elijah wanted to work with the king at the time called King Ahab. And everybody say, King Ahab. Awesome. And the king, they had a message from God. So Elijah told him, hey, king, it's not going to rain for a long time. And that wasn't good news. Does anybody know why? Can you think of some reasons? Well, they need water to drink, obviously, and they need water to grow their fruits and vegetables and crops, and they also need water to feed all the cattle and the animals and their pets. So if they don't have water, that is a big problem. And so God sent a message to warn them, but King Ahab and his wife, Queen Jezebel, wouldn't listen to Elijah or God. They didn't want to do anything to do with them. They said, we don't want to hear it. Don't talk to us, la, 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 la. And Elijah tried to warn them. So after 3 years, Elijah came back to King Ahab to tell him that the Lord was finally going to send some rain. How exciting. After 3 years of no water from the sky, it was going to rain. What a blessing. And that is such great news, right? You would think that King Ahab and Queen Jezebel would be like, yay, it's going to rain. We're going to have water. But guess what? They weren't happy about it. In fact, they blamed Elijah. They said it was his fault that it hadn't rained in so long, and they were mad at him, and that they said that he caused the drought in the first place. Can you believe that? They blamed the guy who told them what was going on, the guy who knows what's going on because God speaks to him and God tells them, but they didn't want to hear it, and they labeled him as a troublemaker, and they're like, you're a troublemaker. And you know what? Elijah didn't pay them any mind. He knew that he was making good choices and that King Ahab and Queen Jezebel, they were making bad choices and evil choices, and they were worshiping false gods, gods that couldn't do anything for them. So Elijah came up with a plan. He decided to do a friendly, or not so friendly, competition, our God against Queen Jezebel and King Ahab's God. So they accepted his challenge, and they're like, all right, it's you against our prophets. And guess how many prophets they brought to have a showdown? 850. Can you believe it? It's one person, Elijah, our prophet for our God, going against 850 of the false God prophets. He must have been so nervous, and I wondered what that looked like. Let's find out.
It is really stinking hot in this outfit. Let's get on with it.
It is definitely stinky.
Ready? 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back to the UPS, the Unofficial Prophetic Showdown. I am your announcer, Joaquin here. And standing in for gymnastics today is none other than Bedrock Sam. Bedrock Sam, how you doing today? Mr. Sam. Hi, how you doing?
Thank you for having me at the
No problem.
at the table, and I'm just happy to be here at Mount Carmel, and I never get out anymore.
It's pronounced Carmel.
That's what I said.
Right, so we live here. We're here live here on the Mount Carmel. All of Israel is here to watch how this battle turns out. In this corner, we have a whopping 2 different groups of people. One of them's worshiping this guy named Baal, and the other one's worshiping a guy named Asherah. Kind of sounds like a toe fungus. I don't know why you'd worship a toe fungus, but moving on. One group has 400, the other one has 450 people. When you put all that together, that has a 400 plus the 2, carry 4, divided by 5.
It's 850.
850. How are you so good at math, Bedrock?
What's math?
Moving on, 850. And who are they fighting today, Mr. Sam?
Today they are fighting a myth,
Yes.
a legend.
Yeah.
His name is Elijah,
Elijah!
and he is accompanied by no one. No one's with him. He's by himself. He's by himself.
He's by himself?
He's by himself. By himself.
Bedrock Sam, you obviously better at math than I am, but 1 seems like a lot less than 850.
I think 850 is a little bit more than 1. Yes.
That's a scary that's a scary fight. If I was Elijah, I might be pretty afraid right now, but I'm not, and I don't get afraid.
I think that's known as an under puppy.
Underdog, you're right.
Yes, what I said.
He definitely is an underdog. Now let's get a quote from the underdog. He says, "Call in the name of your God." He's talking to the other prophets, the prophets of the foot fungus, and that's a little G right there. He says that I will call in the name of the Lord, capital L. You guys got to know the difference here. The small differences make the big difference. The God who answers by setting fire to the wood is the true God, capital G. Man, for a man who's facing a gigantic group of people, Elijah is showing a lot of confidence.
I've never heard of Asherah or Baal. I don't think they exist. I know Elijah is outnumbered by 849 people, but I think Elijah's got this.
I don't know. It's gonna be a close one. Let's see. Oh, they're actually starting to set up the altars right now, and they're putting a bunch of wood together, and they're praying pretty loudly, I might add.
I'm not the sharpest cookie in the tool shed, but if I'm understanding this correctly, the winner of this match is the person whose God answers the phone by fire.
Yes, kind of, not really. We're gonna cut, and then we're gonna come back after all of their altars are set up, and let's see what goes down.
What do we want? Fire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Fire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Fire! When do we want it? Now!
And what is going on right here? It turns out Elijah, he's actually letting the prophets of Baal blah blah go first.
Oh, he's a real gentleman, isn't he?
He is. He's wow. That is insane. So now he's letting them go first. They're setting up their altars, and they're praying. They're praying pretty loudly, might I add. It sounds like a boo ha 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 boo ha 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 boo. Okay, so now they're asking for fire. So theoretically, if the prophets, if their gods, the gods of Blashika blah blah, are real, then their fire should come at any moment. Let's watch. Any minute now.
Come on. Is it normal that nothing's happening?
Is it supposed to do that?
I'm still not the sharpest cheesecake in the factory, but I still don't see any fire.
Me neither, Bedrock Sam. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Mountain of caramel. Actually. Oh my goodness!
Hey, here's it.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the UPS, the Unofficial Prophetic Show. Now, it's been so long that we've been waiting for the prophets of Belshika, blah, blah, to set their fire that we may have fallen asleep. And when we take a look back, it's still nothing has happened. Wait. Elijah's about to say something. Let's listen in.
My friends, they don't hear you. Perhaps your gods are in the restroom. They're going potty. So, cry louder to them. See if they will hear you. Or maybe they're on a trip. Oh, did they go to Montana? Cry louder. Or maybe they're sleeping. Oh. Cry louder. See if they will not hear you. Because of course they won't. They're not real.
Ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, my gee williker snappledoos sailboat. So everybody, Elijah just called him out. Elijah's a pretty confident man for being up against a 850. He said, cry out louder, and maybe then your God will hear you. Let's see how they respond. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, they're doing some weird. They're dancing and they're shouting, and they're just making a big ruckus.
Everything they were doing, they're now doing louder and weirder. That's insane. I wonder if this is gonna work. Let's see.
I have breaking news.
What is it?
I have breaking news.
We need to know this breaking news right now.
This news is gonna break us.
I know, but what is it?
Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I can see that. Nothing's going on just yet, but goodness gracious. So what was supposed to happen is that they were supposed to go dance and go pray and go do all that jazz, but nothing happened to their altars. There was no fire. Let's see. Okay, now it looks like Elijah's getting set up. Okay, now so for Elijah to win right here, he just needs to score 1 point, and that 1 point is a altar of fire on his altar, yeah? Yes, perfect.
What problem, though?
Yes, what is it?
He's wetting it.
Why is he? What?
He's wetting it.
Okay.
Elijah's dumping pots of water. I thought this was a fire competition.
Okay, Cleric Sam's a pretty smart guy, and so Cleric Sam knows that, Cleric Kent, goodness gracious, it's been so long, I don't even know my own name anymore. Cleric Kent knows that fire does not mix well with water, because water's wet, fire's dry, so wet and dry doesn't go well together. See, what Elijah's doing right here is making it harder for himself, making it mean that if fire shows up on his altar, it's going to be that much more of a miracle, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's see how this printer turns out.
God, I cry out to you, the one living God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Show today your power, that they will see there is only one true and living God. Light this up in a real way, that they will see the power and the love of the one true and living God. Hear your servant God this day.
What that was? Whoa!
I've
Bedrock.
never seen fire fall from the sky before.
That was about.
I've never seen fire fall from the sky before.
That was different, Bedrock.
There was fire.
There was fire
falling
from the sky. That was a different kind of fire, Mr. Sam. That was crazy. There was fire, and the water on the altar, that's gone. Even the dust around the altar, that's burnt up. But we have a clear winner today on the UPS, the unofficial prophetic showdown. It's obviously Elijah, because the prophets of Baal, blah, blah, they never got fire. But Elijah, he obviously did. And, oh my goodness, that could just be one thing, right?
Hey, breaking news.
What is it?
I believe.
You believe what?
I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Whatever God Elijah's serving, I'm gonna serve that God, because that
He
God
is God. He is Lord.
He's obviously real. That was crazy. Thank you for tuning in. Somebody get Bedrock Sam's water. I'm gonna go clean up. Thanks, guys. Elijah, good job. Thank you. Bye.
Fire fell from the sky.
Because Elijah didn't let fear stop him, he stood up to 850 false prophets, and the Israelites got to see that God is the one true living God. How awesome is that? Because Elijah did what God told him to do and was following God's word, he was able to change the lives of people around him. He was able to lead hundreds and thousands of people to know that God is real, that he loves them, and that they should give their lives to him. It's so good. We need to be that example and make sure that we're not walking in fear, but we know that God is with us. We need to lead by example, lead a life looking like Jesus, boldly saying what God has said, boldly sharing the good news and telling other people what God has for them. It's so good. Let's grow our gospel and church family. Amen. Amen. We're so glad you guys could join us for this lesson. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon, and we love you and we miss you. Bye.
Hello, children. Welcome back. Okay, now, time to go over the memory verse. Woo-hoo! Okay, now, our memory verse today is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Woo-hoo! Okay, now, let's say it together, shall we? Okay, now, here we go. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of the sound mind. Woo-hoo! Okay, now, let's do it again, shall we? Second time. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Woo-hoo! Okay, one more time now, shall we? One more time. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Woo-hoo!
Hi everyone, I'm Chanel,
And I'm Deborah.
and we hope you guys enjoyed your kids' lesson this week about Elijah. Can anyone guess what this craft will be today? If you said fire, then you're right. Today we're going to be making an altar with fire.
So for this craft, you'll need markers, a glue stick, brown paper, white paper, scissors, orange paint, red paint, blue paint, yellow paint, and a plate.
Okay, first you're going to grab your blue paint and you're going to stick it on a plate. We're going to be finger painting today. Let's get that out. There you go. And you're going to make your water like the water that they poured over the altar and the water went into the trench. Then you're gonna grab your white paper and you're gonna fold it 3 times. Here you go. And you're gonna cut rocks next. And you can make them oval, it doesn't matter, they don't have to be perfect. So after you cut your rocks, you're gonna go ahead and glue them on top of your water. Next, you're gonna grab your brown paper to make wood. And you're just gonna tear down the paper, doesn't have to be perfect, and then you'll rip it in half and place it on top of your rocks. And now you're gonna glue the wood on top of your rocks. Okay, next you're gonna pour some yellow paint and orange paint on your paper. And then we're gonna make fire. So you're gonna go ahead and stick your hand right in the plate, get it real good, get the paint all over your hand, and then you're gonna stick it right on top of the wood that you made. And then you'll grab your other hand and stick it in the yellow paint, get it all in there, all over your hand. And you're gonna go ahead and put it on the other side. And for your last step, you're gonna write the weekly saying, God is with me.
This craft was fire, yo.
Yeah, it was.
Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Tune in next week for a new lesson.
Bye.